You know, like all these people that think that somehow they're going to time the market and they're going to guess, it's probably 10,000 times harder to time the market when you know the future than it is to to sit and to wait for a decade. And like, you know, the Bitcoin thing, this kind of is working in 12 weeks or 24 weeks. When I did this, I didn't expect it to work in 12 weeks. I did it thinking that in 1 to 3 years, people will think I'm not an idiot. And in 10 years, I'll be happy I did it. And I'm ready to get beat to death for the first 1-2 years if people are going to beat me to death, because you could have been beat to death on Facebook stock and Apple stock and Google stock and whatever in a 1 to 2, 3 year time frame. Anybody that tells you that they actually know the direction of this stuff over the course of days or weeks or months, they're deluding themselves and they're deluding you.
Michael Saylor is the undisputed king of Bitcoin. Just this past week, he announced on Twitter that he has bought an additional 155 Bitcoin for $5.3 million. This brings his total to 158,400 Bitcoin. The most crazy thing of all, Saylor says he still gets anxiety when he sleeps because he has not bought enough. That's the amount of conviction he has that Bitcoin is the single greatest opportunity of all time. This isn't Saylor's first rodeo either. Back in the dot-com boom and beginning of early tech, Saylor bought and held names such as Apple, Amazon, Facebook, and Google, making himself over $500 million. Which means one thing for certain, Saylor knows how to identify and hold onto winners. In this interview, Saylor breaks down his entire conviction thesis from when he first bought Bitcoin to why he thinks it's ridiculous to try to buy in and sell out to get an edge. Make sure to stick around to the end of the video where Saylor breaks down simply why there's no better asset for investment than Bitcoin. Also, only a small percentage of my viewers are actually subscribed. If you enjoy finance content, consider subscribing or liking the video. It's free and you can always change your mind. Now here's Saylor on why there's no second best.
Anybody that tells you that they actually know the direction of this stuff over the course of days or weeks or months, they're deluding themselves and they're deluding you. And it's almost comical because they all hold themselves out as being like experts at something. And like, I have been the expert in something. And the one thing that I knew was, you know, the only time I ever lost money on Apple, the only time. Wait, can you imagine losing money on Apple stock investing in the last 20 years? At any point in time, from 1997, there's not a single way, John, you could have lost money betting on Apple stock as a hodler in 22 years, except I did it. I'm going to tell you how I did it. I bought an option. I bought a leap. I actually bought a call option, but not short, long. I went long Apple stock. I bought call. By the way, I'm not going to go long Apple stock with a 30 or 60 or 90-day option. I bought an 18-month leap option on Apple stock. The stock traded down. It stayed down 17 months, 18 months. My option expired. I lost the premium and the stock shot up. Freaking predicted the future. I wanted some leverage. I'm so angry. And the takeaway from that is, if you believe in something and you have conviction, buy the underlying asset, ideally with very low leverage or no leverage, and hold it forever. You know, like, and all these other cute things, like you get cute. It's like, how could I be wrong in 18 months? It was 19 months, John, and I was right in 19 months, and the option expired. It's almost like God punishing me for trying to be cute and gamble with this sort of thing. Yeah, I said it to Raul, you know, I said, I have anxiety going to bed at night if I'm short, you know, there's the point when I started buying it. There's a funny story. I'm not going to say who I did it with. I started buying Bitcoin, you know, and they thought I was going to buy like $10 million worth of it. And I wired in $100 million. And I started buying it, and I bought 25 million in the day. And no one had ever bought $25 million worth of Bitcoin on their exchange in a few hours. And they said, well, we're burning up the entire system and you're blowing out the spreads. And this is a big problem. And you're going to drive the price up. And I just need to get this stuff. Like, I can't, by the way, the price was down in the 9s. And I was just imagining someone was going to get smart and drive the price up to 10 or 11 or 12 or 30. I know I was going to chase it up. So I had anxiety. I'm like, I have to get this trade in before the rest of the world comes to its senses. So I'm buying it. You know, I swear to you, they put me in a corner and they said, you know, you have to stop now. You're buying too much. Like, they literally put me in a corner and said, you know, you're buying too much. All the other people on the system feel like you're driving the price up. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, really? And, and then I went to bed that night, and I was just really like worked up. I could hardly sleep because they had cut me off when I bought 20 million and I wanted to buy 35 million that day. And I was like, what if the 15 million that I didn't buy starts to run away from me? It's going to cost me millions and millions of dollars. It doesn't really matter how much you buy, right? It's the same idea, which is I need to buy it all now before somebody figures this thing out. And by the way, if you look at the dynamics of this as an asset, if I bought $100 million worth of Apple stock today, I could say I have big tech exposure. And then at the end of the quarter, I could say, well, maybe I should sell Apple and buy Google, or maybe I should sell Apple and buy Amazon. And I'm still kind of big tech exposed. I mean, you could trade Twitter for Facebook or Facebook for Twitter, or you could decide that you don't like Facebook anymore, but you like Google. The world's not coming to an end. There's a lot of supply of big tech. $10 trillion worth of it, right? On the other hand, if you decided that Bitcoin was your thing, you're going to buy a crypto asset and you buy $100 million worth of Bitcoin. And I say this because this is the way the institutions that buy this stuff are going to think. Well, they're going to come in there and go buy 100 million or 200 million or 500 million. When you decide that you want that, you go through this thing of, okay, what do I want? Well, I don't want big tech because I don't like the underlying exposure to fiat cash flows. I don't want gold because, again, counterparty risk and it's an open system and the gold miners are a problem. Okay, I want crypto. Which crypto? There's 6,500 cryptos. Well, write off most of those. Which one's the best crypto asset? Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay, what's the second best? There is no second best. There's no second best crypto asset. There's a crypto asset. It's called Bitcoin, right? There is no second best, okay? It's not like Google and Facebook. It's not like Apple and Amazon. Yeah, we can debate Apple or Amazon, what's better. They both look like tech monopolies to me. They both look pretty good. On the other end, Bitcoin or no, Bitcoin. Bitcoin's crypto asset. This entire idea of like 60% dominance is bullshit, ridiculous, stupid, right? Like, it's stupid. It's not 60% dominant. It's like 96% or 95% dominant, right? The thing, if you compare it as a crypto asset to a like kind of proof of work crypto network, right, that's meant to be a store of value, you're lucky if you can scrape together 5% of other stuff in the last bucket. So there is no real competitor. So once you go down that path of, well, big tech, no, this is not my big tech allocation. Gold, this is not my gold allocation. Crypto asset, this is my crypto asset. Bitcoin, it's the only one. Now you got to squeeze through a nozzle, which is $1 billion a day, and you have to buy it. Once you go through, I joked to my friend Eric. I said I should tweet, this is the Hotel California, of assets. Like, you check in anytime you want, but you can never leave. He goes, no, you can't tweet that. That's the dark reference. Like, I can't tweet it. And then this morning I see like Nick tweets it, right? It's on the Twitter. I'm like, look, he tweeted it. Like, I wasn't so stupid after all. Like, it's a one-way valve. Okay, so it's one way, you're buying. Why else is one way? Because it's long duration. Like, it's the ultimate long duration asset. And this, if you don't get this, you just don't get this, right? I say 100 years, you could hold it 100 years. You're definitely, it's longer duration than any bond, any stock, any gold, if you do the math. So I just bought the pharmaceutical grade synthetic gold, pharmaceutical grade long duration safe haven asset. That's what I bought. There's nothing better. Now, why am I ever going to sell it? Am I going to trade it for Google? Well, no, I can't trade it for Google. I can't trade it for Amazon. I can't trade it for gold. I can't trade it for any other crypto. It's a one-way trade. So why would I ever sell? By the way, when I do sell, I get a tax hit. So I'm going to get capital gains to sell it. So that's a deterrent from selling any asset. But my deterrent for selling an asset is I can't find a better treasury reserve asset. There's nothing longer duration. There's nothing that's going to last longer. There's nothing that's going to be more anti-fragile. There's nothing that's going to have a higher theoretical long-term yield, right? The long-term theoretical yield on Bitcoin is like, it's the monetary inflation plus the technology utility increase plus the surging adoption, all of those three in the near term. And over the long-term productivity growth of the economy that adopts it as the standard. So those things are all going to drive it. They're all going to drive it in a compelling way. So now why would you sell it? And the only answer, which you pointed out, is like, if you want to buy a jet or a yacht, if a maximalist wants to buy a jet or a yacht, I respect that. If you want to buy the palatial villa of your dreams in Ibiza, okay, have at it. If you want to get married, or if you want to marry your daughter, or send off your kids or send them to college, if there's something you love, an expenditure or an asset of passion, I think I could respect that. And by the way, if there's something that's a life or death issue, you're going to sell it to give a kidney to somebody, or to save a life. Sure. I respect that, but it needs to be an expenditure of passion. If you're just selling it in order to trade into another financial asset, right? You're a fool. Right? Yeah. Stop selling the long duration pharmaceutical grade synthetic safe haven asset, the first one, selling that to buy something which has got more exposure to fiat debasement or to complexity or other types of risk or shorter term is kind of just, you had the thing solved and you unsolved the thing. And so anybody that says they're going to trade it, the conclusion you come to is they just don't understand it. They literally don't understand what they're doing, and they don't understand what it is. As soon as you understand what it is, you're just going to sweep all your excess monetary energy, your savings account, into this and hodl forever, right? And the other point is, most people don't have the experience to be able to borrow against an asset, because Bitcoin is a very immature asset class. The first decade, there's no mature crypto banking. In the next decade, you'll see the formation of Bitcoin banks or crypto banks. Binance's and Coinbase's and Krakens and the like, and all the institutions will evolve to the point where they accept your Bitcoin as collateral, and they'll start to grant you loans. And then what you'll see is that eventually the logical wealth building strategy is you save everything you possibly can in Bitcoin. And at some point, when you really want the yacht or the jet, or you want the massive house, or you need money to save your life or to launch your business or start up something of passion, then you'll borrow against your underlying Bitcoin at some rate, and then you'll use the borrow and you'll leverage up, because that's what every wealthy real estate family ever did. What most people do is they're leveraging their assets to go into new businesses, and they're keeping the assets forever.
So there's Michael Saylor, a titan of Bitcoin, with his unwavering belief in the transformative power of Bitcoin. His journey from the dot-com era to becoming a major force in the Bitcoin world is nothing short of inspiring. Remember, Saylor's track record speaks for itself. He navigated the turbulent waters of early tech giants, reaping substantial rewards from his strategic investments. His move into Bitcoin is not just another venture, it's a testament to his vision and understanding of the financial landscape. As we wrap up this interview, it's clear that Saylor's conviction is not just about financial gain, but a deep belief in the revolutionary potential of Bitcoin. His message is clear. Bitcoin isn't just an investment, it's a paradigm shift in the way we think about wealth, technology, and the future. For those who've been watching, ponder on Saylor's insights and what they might mean for your own investment strategies. Whether you're new to the world of Bitcoin or a seasoned investor, there's always something new to learn from experts like Saylor. Anyway guys, hope today's video provided you with some value. I'll see you all in the next one, and as always, all the best.